Most games nowadays are made to drain every penny in your pocket for in-game purchases that you either don't need or the game is obligating you to purchase to progress. Because of that practice, I lost my passion for games.
Out of my way! Crawl! You little shit!
Enter Persona 5, a game that gave me hope that there are still games that focuses on fun first and profit second, unlike a certain spin-off. After falling in love with Persona 5, I just had to try the previous titles. What I didn't expect was the most moving game I've played since Red Dead Redemption 2. That game was Persona 4 Golden on the PS Vita. If you're watching this video and haven't played Persona 4, close the video and buy the game. It's only $20 on Steam and I promise you, you will experience a game like never before. Also, I won't reveal huge spoilers or massive plot twists, and without further ado, here's how Persona 4 Golden rekindled my love for games. Persona 4 Golden isn't a Persona game without the social links. If you don't know what social links are, they're a mechanic where every time you spend time with the character, your connection with them increases depending on how you interact with them. Since the game gives you dialogue choices, and I do like me some dialogue choices, the social links are immensely rewarding since it can affect combat and Persona fusions, which I'll talk about later in the video. Every character has their own arc, and the writing is so good that I considered them as real people, which shows how much of an introvert I am. Regardless, I always looked forward spending time with them, getting to know their passions and fears. It always felt fulfilling when they open up to me or face their inner selves as I helped them along their journey.
I knew it wasn't lying, but I was so ashamed that I didn't want to admit it. You're me, and I'm you. When you get down to it, all of this is me.
Also, I don't know how to introduce this feature, so here, love interests. Yes, you heard me right, love interest. I feel like it was a feature made specifically for simps, which I am not, but that already makes it sound I am one, so to each their own. And before anyone asks me in the comments who I picked as my love interest, it was Rise. Because the higher the social link with her, the easier it is to exploit the enemy's weakness and increase the damage of the all-out attack, which I'll talk about later in the video. Combat is the basis of any JRPG. Persona 4 is no exception. Persona 4's combat is a downgrade to Persona 5. Nevertheless, I never got bored of dungeon crawling or grinding so I can beat the boss. And trust me when I say this, grinding is a must. If you try to speed run through the floors with as minimal enemy interaction as possible, you'll either get fucked by the boss or take too long since every hit is almost fatal. The bosses get hard, and I mean hard. Anyone who played Persona 5 and thought that was hard, Persona 4 is going to be a living hell.
Persona!
No, senpais!
But grinding in Persona 4 isn't like other JRPGs where you have to do tedious missions and grind for hours just to get a tiny bit stronger. In Persona 4, everything you have can give you a huge advantage, whether it's an accessory that makes you more resistant to a specific attack type that you're weak against, or a specific item that can give you the upper hand. I don't personally use items in most games since it's pretty useless to me, but Persona 4 changed that. It changed that completely. Items can be very useful in Persona 4, especially when a hard boss can almost one-hit the entire team, so you best be searching and buying anything that can give you any kind of advantage, because I learned that the hard way. Now, you might think that I'm just besmirching the game, but the majority is just plain fun. It's not like defeating your enemy over and over and over again just to get a bit stronger. The combat is simple yet unique, like the One More system, where every time you knock an enemy down by attacking its weakness, you can attack it again and skip its turn. Or you can knock down a different enemy, and if you knock them all down, down, you can do an all-out attack that does massive damage. You can also knock an enemy down with a critical hit. Depending on the situation, using an all-out attack or just skipping an enemy's turn can be very handy, since sometimes enemies can have no weaknesses, so just knocking an enemy down with a critical hit and then skipping its turn can buy you some time to heal. Another unique mechanic in Persona 4 that's not in Persona 5 is the dual follow-up attack. Depending on the combination of your party, a dual follow-up attack will occur after an all-out attack that can deal a good amount of damage to all enemies. For example, having Chie and Yukiko on your team after you do an all-out attack will prompt them to follow up an attack. In my opinion, it doesn't turn the table much, since the all-out attack already does massive damage, and with Rise randomly joining the all-out attack to increase the damage, the follow-up attack is pretty useless. The most satisfying thing in any JRPG is the reward. Persona 4 executes that perfectly with the shuffle time mechanic. It basically works like this. Every time you win a battle, there's a chance a shuffle time will occur where a series of cards is presented to you, each with a different effect. For example, the Hermit Arcana makes enemies unable to detect you on the current floor, so you can attack it first. Therefore, your team gets the first turn, which is a massive advantage. If you draw all the cards, you get a sweep bonus, which guarantees a shuffle time at the end of the next battle and grants 2 extra draws. I think that covers all the combat. Now time for the segment where it's literally the title of the game. Persona. Persona is defined as the aspect of someone's character that is presented to or perceived by others. As Igor puts it best,
The persona you have acquired, it is a side of you that shows itself when you face the world around you. Perhaps you can think of it as a facade of determination you wear to face various difficulties in life. It is like the number 0, empty, yet holding infinite potential within itself. The persona ability is the power to control one's own heart, and the heart is strengthened through bonds. As you form bonds by becoming involved with others, your own social links will gradually develop. The power of these social links is what will determine your persona's abilities.
Yu Narukami, the main protagonist, is different from other Persona users. He's basically the wild card of the team, since he can carry more than one persona. Every persona has their own arcana. You can fuse personas with the help of Igor to make stronger personas. When you fuse 2 or more personas, the resulting persona will level up depending on the level of your social link corresponding to the persona's arcana. That's why it's crucial to level up your social links so you can get stronger personas. And how do you get personas, you might ask? From shuffle time. It occurs a lot, so you won't feel that you're out of personas. In fact, the opposite. I've always loved games that give you the sense of getting stronger without it just filling the XP bar. Persona 4 Golden used a different approach to character progression. Everything that you do gives you some kind of benefit. It could be bug catching under a tree to use them as bait for fishing and then using them as healing items, or trading them for jewels and selling them to buy weapons or armor. That's just one activity that can benefit you in combat. All of your activities and interaction benefit you in battle in some way. In the day, you can either spend your time socializing or doing any activity to increase your social stats, which I'll talk about later in the video, or enter the TV world to save the hostage that's trapped inside. After you've used your time for the day, you can do part-time jobs, study, eat what's left in the fridge, or read a book. Social stats are attributes that unlock certain dialogue options, whether it be during social links or story-based events. Some characters require a specific social stat level to engage with them. In class, the teacher may ask you a question, and if you answer correctly, your knowledge will increase. The game really made me feel that I was a part of a community. The main goal of the game is to complete each dungeon before the deadline. If you fail, you can choose to go back last week or start again from your last save. The game taught me how to manage my time. It didn't feel tedious to choose how I can spend my time in the rural town of Inaba. I felt like an actual teenager, just having fun with my friends, eating together, playing together. I felt like I was genuinely having fun. It didn't feel like a JRPG. It felt like a game, an emotionally deep game. The soundtracks are one of the best gaming soundtracks I've ever heard. Listening to Heartbeat, Heartbreak while exploring Inaba made me just want to sit there and just listen while my ears were blessed with a masterpiece of a soundtrack. If you like deep storytelling games, Persona 4 is a must-play. I promise you that you will experience a game as influential as Red Dead Redemption 2. If you reached this far into the video, comment if you played Persona 4 Golden. I'd love to hear some of your take on this game. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this, and of course, thank you for watching.